All right, on to step 3. Now, this is something that's new. All right, this is something that's new, so I'm going to really need you to think for a second here. Okay, we figured out in step 2, this was our number of moles. What we're trying to find in step 3 is we're going to take these moles to figure out the moles of the one we want, okay, in the end, so the other substance. So we got to turn moles to moles. And I'm going to add to this, of the other unknown substance. All right, I call this one here the unknown substance because there's something unknown about it. We don't know how much mass there is. We call it the unknown. All right, so here's all you got to do. You got to think first. Think first. If you look here, the coefficients from your balanced chemical equation, which was in the first essential learning that you went through. Hopefully everything went well. I didn't get a lot of questions on that. But if you have questions, please ask. But you'll notice we have these big coefficient numbers in front of the substances. If there's not a coefficient listed, it's a 1. All right, so that's a 1 there, and this is a 1 here. Okay? Now, what that means is this. For every 1 molecule of this, we need 2 molecules of this to produce 1 of these and 2 of these. Okay, that's where those coefficients are. Okay? Now, if we're starting with this one, we're focusing on just this coefficient and this coefficient. This one's a 1, this one's a 2. All right? This is what I call the smaller coefficient, because 1 is smaller than 2. And this is the larger coefficient. So if you look at the little notes I sent out, that's what I'm talking about. Smaller, larger. Because this is a 1 and this is a 2. Not because of their spots on the board, but because of this is a 1, this is a 2. Okay? So now let's think about this for a second. For every 1 of these, I get 2 of those. So if I had 1 of those, I get 2 of these. If I had 2 of those, I will get 4 of these. If I have 12 of these, I would get 24 of those. I'm just doubling it every time because for every 1 of these, I get 2 of those. All right, so as you can see now, the number from here to here, this one is getting larger. Okay, this one is getting larger. So to make this one, the unknown one, get larger, what I'm having you do is multiply by the larger coefficient and then divide by the smaller. Okay, that gets unknown larger. Okay, that's what that's going to do. That's going to make this value, the appropriate size, larger than the original. And in this case, here's my original. So I'm going to take my 0.004 moles, and I'm going to multiply it by the larger one to make my number get larger. That happens to be a 2. So multiply it by 2. And then I'm going to divide it by the smaller one, which happens to be 1, which I know in this case, it doesn't change anything, but in other problems it might. Okay, so 0.004 times 2, that's going to give you 0.008, divided by 1, still 0.008. And this is your number of moles, in this case, of NaNO3. All right, so again, the idea here is we need to make this larger because it's a 1-to-2 ratio, with the 2 being the larger one. Okay, we need to make the thing get larger. And that's what we would do. That is step 3.